Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's Thursday the 17th of December. We have new mods and we have a load of updates. The updates are as follows. From top left, the Polish Mechanical Harrow by Tom Sky and Pisa PL, the Double Door Garage by Vanquish-081 and Pijstai VSR Modding Sir, the American Shed by J.AModding ABP Team, the Medium Pull Through Workshop by _modding, the German Road Signs by Nerotsk, the Broom by no.naim, the Gable by MrSealyp Vauxhall, and 6 Ashes by GB-modding, Ostrovico by Puma145, the John Deere 7000 planter by _modding, the NMC Reaper Pack by North Modding Company, the Metaltech DB Pack by Melody98 and Mr. Zixon, the Pons Scorpion King MRF Edition by Mr. Force Technic, the Linde E14335 by Caleruega Modding Design, and the Lancer Pendulum 600 by FBR Modding. Now, the Linde E14 says it's an update with a changelog, but according to the Mods Hub, it doesn't have a changelog, and I think it might be new, so we'll be having a look at that. But they have all had updates today. So, a couple of anomalies sticking out there. 6 Ashes is not showing us an update, but it looks like the changelog has changed. What's more worrying is it does say at the top of that now, new save game required. Whereas the changelog the other day when it updated, it was intimating the new save game was recommended if you wanted some of the features to take effect. So that's a little bit worrying considering that's what my Let's Play's on. And obviously then we've got Sandomierski Oculus has just popped up as an update as well, but that wasn't on there when I prepped all of this. That's by Dragon X and Xylac04. As far as the mods go, for today should be a little bit better than yesterday in as much as time frame. We've got the Shed, 3.52 megabytes download, 4 slots on console. This is by LSMC, and it's a shed. Shelter, made of timber, concrete support bases, small to medium machinery, I would suggest. This you'll find under placeables, under sheds, 1,500 to buy. Like I say, 4 slots, not too bad at all. That's by LSModding. Next, we've got the Metal Shed. This is by CMMODZ, 6.27 megabytes download, 6 slots on console. This is a little bit bigger, this one. Concrete section at the bottom with what looks like kind of ridged aluminium maybe around the sides. Big door opens at the front here. There is lighting inside. What I'm doing now is when I find the light switches, I'm just turning them on, so I know that when I come to do it, that there are lights and that I have found the switch. One thing I will say, the door goes up. There's no actual framework for the door, but it opens and closes at the end of the day. That's what you need. Light switch is just here. Please work light switch. There we go. So lights on or off. This you'll find, and I think it was just next to the one we just looked at. I suppose I could have looked at it in this menu first, couldn't I? Why is the door not closing? There we go. Not a bad size. Nice big door opening, so for getting larger vehicles in, very handy indeed. This you will also find under placeables and sheds. There you go, 10,000 to buy and 6 slots on console. Next, we have got this. This is the Placeable Fuel Station. This is by StevesMods and lancyboi, 18.56 megabytes download, 33 slots on console, the Mega Ocean Thrift Store. Auto parts around to the side as well. I don't think this actually has a workshop. That door doesn't open, but the door to the thrift store does. Like so. Plus, we can get our fuel here as well, which is kind of handy for a fuel station. It's pretty much a prerequisite, really. It's what you need. This you will find under placeables and miscellaneous. 30,000 to buy And like I say, 33 slots for the first one, and then that drops down to 2. Nicely detailed. I do like the old sort of rusted patinaed, it's the patinaed car, up on the roof above the auto parts. There you go. Placeable fuel station by SimulagriModdz and lancyboi. Moving on from there. We'll do this one next, I think. We've got this. This is a bit of a eye roller, this one, I think. This is the John Deere 5075E by J.AModding and Agro Tonho. 19.17 megabytes download. 45 slots on console. Unfortunately, we're back to that kind of John Deere curse again, aren't we? It's nicely detailed, looks good. I've left the bonnet up to remind myself that that does open and close, otherwise I'll miss that as a feature. There aren't a huge amount of options available on this one, but I think it's another South American one, judging by the canopy look rather than a full enclosed cab. This you'll find under vehicles, under small tractors, 100,000 for the base model, 75 horsepower at base model. We can change the configuration on the front, and this is for weights. So we've got standard. Now you'll notice in the menu, we've got the little sliding bar on the right hand side of the options. As soon as I go onto a weight, that disappears, because that last option is for front loader. So if I put weights on the front, I can't have a front loader option. Just to be aware of that. So if you want a front loader, you can't have weights. So we can have it standard, 300 kilogram front weight, 560 kilogram and back again. Then we've got design standard with front fenders. Wheel setup, we've got standard. Wheel weights, narrow tyres, back to standard again. Then engine setup, we've got the 5075E at 75 horsepower. The 5078E, surprisingly at 78 horsepower. And then we've got the 5085E at 85 horsepower and the 5090E at 90 horsepower. Then the last option down the bottom is front loader attacher, yes or no. If you go for yes, it shifts the exhaust back. And those are the options available. I'll open the help menu because I can't remember which one it was. R1 and right stick up and down opens and closes the bonnet for those annoying times when a John Deere breaks down. I'm not getting involved. Lights, front and rear, and main beam at the front. Horn, oh, main beam and main beam plus. Oh yeah, extra, isn't it? Nice. Horn. John Deere logo on those front fenders, wheel arches. Yeah, but they are fenders, aren't they? It sounds good, it looks nice. First person view, nice, neat and tidy. Visibility's good. As you can imagine, having no supports there always helps to give you a more panoramic view of the scenery as you drive by. So there you go. That's the John Deere 5075E by J.AModding and Agro Tonho. Just hop out of there a second because we're going to need it. Oh, actually we don't need it for the next one. We should be okay. We've got this. This is the RYC-ONE wood trailer. This is by RYC-ONE VSR modding Sur. 4.85 megabytes download and 4 slots on console. It's a fairly basic design. It's a basic mod, but it's a basic design. Chassis and frame at the bottom, side supports, and tension belts. We do have a rear trailer hitch on this as well. Logs go on, tension belts go over. Job done. There's not really much else to be said about that one. In the mod hub, in the store, you'll find this under tools and forestry equipment. 4,000 to buy. And like I say, 4 slots on console. Options available. You can change the rim colour. Zoom in a little bit. So rim colour we can have stainless steel. There's a dark steel, aluminium, chrome, and a polished. Then we've got gold, a new silver. I do like the sort of metallic ones. There's a few metallic options. There's a few metallic options. And then I think when we get down to the bottom, I think we just go onto the regular colours. They're not metallics anymore, they're just the regular colour palette. And then main colour, we can change to anything on that colour palette, like so. Straps can be done manually, or from in cab, all at once, all on, all off. That, of course, is your choice. So there you go. That's the RYC-ONE wood trailer by Round & Christie 1, VSR modding, sir. Moving on. Now this is the mod hub is driving me insane at the moment. Who was it? Was it Smock Farmer commented to say we've got mods that are mods that aren't mods. We've got mods that say they're updates when they're not updates. We've got mods that aren't saying they're updates when they are updates. We've got all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff going on. Now this was saying in the website mod hub that this was an update and it had a change log. It then popped up as available in the mod hub on PS4/PS5 for me without a change log. So I'm just taking it as it's a new mod because I don't recall seeing it before. It may be one of those mods that dropped when I was on holiday one of the times, but if it is, I'm covering it again, doesn't matter. This is the Lizard E14335. I think it's E14. I will double check that because my handwriting. It's 11.47 slots to download. No, 11.47 megabytes to download. 7 slots on console. This is by Caleruega Modding Design. As you can probably tell, it's a forklift truck. Nice compact unit. Not too heavy on the slot count either. Sort of thing that'd be really handy around the yard for little shunting bits, or having it up at the store if you're going to go and collect pallets, having one there all the time so you can use it. Very long forks on this as well, so you should be able to get through maybe two pallets, maybe 2 stacks, but they are fairly long. This you'll find under vehicles and miscellaneous. Only 8,000 to buy, so again, not too expensive on that either. 30 horsepower, runs at 12 miles per hour. We can change the main colour to construction, marine, logistic and special. Rim colour, same options, so we can do combinations of if you wanted to. Then we've got the option where it says fender, that's just for the back support behind the forks. Fender, yes or no for the back support for pallets. Those are the options. Beacon on top. Lights, now this is an interesting one. Lights on, look, you get that almost ultraviolet blue light there that shines down to the ground in front there, and the red one on the back shines down there. Now I'm not a forklift truck driver, forklift truck operator. We've had a few different forklifts in game before and I've never come across that before. If you know what that is, what it's for, let us know. Unless it's just a warning, because in certain light, when I brought this out, as you can see when the dust kicks up there, it's almost like a laser because it shines. See the beam of light shining through the dust? Yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that. Lights on and off. Reverse lights on the back. Those aren't work lights, they're reverse lights. Like so. Turns on a dime, as you would expect. Forks up and down. L1 and right stick up and down. And then side to side. So L1 and right stick side to side gives you a tilt forwards and backwards. Not a bad reach too. Yeah, pretty cool that. First person. I suppose like any forklift truck, again without depth perception, which is always a little bit tricky. Visibility is not fantastic in game, but it is fairly close, so I would imagine sort of doing pallet work wouldn't be as tricky. But yeah, nice mod that. So there you go, the E14335 by Caleruega Modding Design. Moving on to this. This is the John Deere Autonomous. This is by Tailan, YSS Projects and Agro Mods. 6.21 megabytes download. 38 slots on console. I know we had the case autonomous a while back, and that was wheeled. I don't know what about this, to me, is a little bit more sinister and creepy. I don't know why. It's got a bit of a, was it Ed 309, Ed 209 from the original RoboCops? It's got that kind of feel, I think, because it kind of leans over the front and because it's tracked. I mean, it looks brilliant. It's 500 horsepower, front weight, rear 3-point link. Now, obviously, in-game or at least on console, because we don't have GPS, we can't set things off, it isn't truly autonomous. You still would have to, you can hire a worker to do jobs, but you'll still have to drive it places to get it there. But it's rather cool looking. What we'll do is hop in, start it up. It's the lights that I think are amazing. And then the extra one there. There's no beacon or anything like that. There is a horn. I mean, the whole autonomous and robotic thing isn't unusual these days. I know when I went to Rickaby at Carlisle and when we were at Agrotechnica, there are so many vehicles and things now, a lot of roadside maintenance gear, roadside mowing, all those kind of things now are autonomous, or at least controlled remotely with tracks, and so operators don't get injured if they're on high angles and slopes and stuff like that. So it's not unusual, and I think this is a prototype being tested, or it's out now, I can't remember, but it's pretty cool. We can go in cab for all intents and purposes if you want to. You can almost kind of take it, you're almost standing on a back plate, although when you look down obviously there isn't a back plate to stand on, but nicely detailed. Won't take up as much room as a regular tractor, obviously, because it's quite a bit smaller, no cab and all that kind of thing. This you'll find under vehicles and large tractors. There you go, tractor autonomous, 300 grand, 500 horsepower, and like I said, 38 slots for the first one. There are options available. You get what you get. Yeah. Pretty cool. Moving on from there. We have got these. This is the Banderante, Charger and Scorpion. These are auger wagons. They are by Farm Centro Sul. 14.34 megabytes to download. The Scorpion is 17 slots and the Charger is 11. Interesting though that yesterday we had a Charger as well, but that wasn't by Farm Centro Sul, was it? Mine's gone blank as to who that was. I did the review yesterday. 15,000 litre, 33,000 litre capacity, single axle trailed, double axle trailed, with that one's got a swivel axle at the front too. When the pipes open out, they are not adjustable, they are open. And these will take your regular crop types that an auger wagon will take, plus seed and fertiliser, but I'm going to double check that. They're nicely made, nicely detailed. Twin wheels on the rear axle on this one. These you'll find under tools and auger wagons. Chaser bins, I know that people use different terms for them. Yep, regular crop types that an auger wagon will take, plus seed and fertiliser. So 40,000 for the 15,000 litre one requires 110 horsepower to operate, and then that's the Scorpion 15,000, and the Charger 33,000 is 150 horsepower required to operate with a 33,000 litre capacity. Options, we've got Trelleborg and we've got Michelin. Trelleborg, we've got, I think, 3 options, and then Michelin, I think we've got 3 as well. Yep. I think it's the same on the Charger. Oh no, the Charger hasn't got any options for tyres, it just comes as it is. What we'll do though, let's jump into the JCB. Now for both of these, cover open, L1 and left on the D-pad, opens and closes the cover. There's no rolling cover, it just opens and closes. Then L1 and up on the D-pad, L1 and down on the D-pad, raises and lowers your pipe. Fairly quick opening and closing of the pipe, and like I say, once it is open and closed, there's no, once it's open, there's no option for adjusting it, but it's got quite a high angle on it, or got quite a high height, steep angle. Yes, struggling with words today. Kind of difficult when this is what you do for a living, isn't it? But yeah, they're really nice. Very cool indeed. Couple more auger wagons to add to the fold. They are by Farm Centro Sul. Turn that off and move on to the next one, which is this. Now these are very nice for a very important reason. This is the Lizard FMT and RMT, the FMT 320p and the RMT 1230p. These are by no.naim LSMC. The front mower is 7 slots, the rear mower is 19 slots, 6.79 megabytes download and 26.42 megabytes download. These do come as separate mods, it's not a pack. But what's important about this is trailed, not a 3-point link mounted, and it's 12.3 meters. That puts that, as far as I recall, at one of the widest mowers we've got. We've gone up to 10 ones and 10 twos, haven't we? With various different mods. But 12.3 meter mowers, that's wider than the big M we've got standard in game. Incredibly well detailed, loads going on. And the sound effect when this starts up is brilliant. It does sound very, very good. So, these you'll find under Tools and Mowers. The FMT 320p is 17 grand, requires 82 horsepower, and is 3.2 meters wide. The RMT 1230p, 94 grand, requires 250 horsepower, 12.3 meters. Options available, there are none. On the rear mounted mower, on the front mounted mower, we can have without lights or with lights on the front. Like so, well, front and back of that, see. Indicators and lights. Those are the options. So when it's folded, which is how it normally comes because I brought it out and I forgot to fold it back. So unfolding it, and our light options there. I think the two on the back come on as well. Yep. And then we've got indicators on there. I have got indicators in there. There we go. Indicators in the front too. Lights off. We're back up to that one. See the skirts on the side flapping as well. Nice animations. So this opens out. Love it. Now, there is no option for swath dropping though. I suppose that's the only potential downside to this. But 12.3 meters, you're going to get fields done in a hurry. It's very cool. I will check my menu, just to be certain. Press L1, there's nothing there that says about swathing, changing swath mode. It's normally on that on R1 and then L3 for anything like that. So what I'll do is turn the front one off and lift it, turn the back one off and lift it, and then I'll do R1 again. So yeah, there's no options that I can find for swath dropping. But, very nice mods. So rather than the butterfly setup we usually have with them rear mounted, we've got it like that. Very cool. The Lizard FMT 320p and the RMT 1230p by no.naim LSMC. Moving on. From there, we've got this. Let me just close that off. I'm doing that using my side panel. People still ask, if you're new to watching my mod reviews, I've got a Logitech heavy equipment side panel plugged into my PlayStation. And that's how I'm able to go in and out of certain menus. This is the Polish Chicken Coop by Gazani 317 and Daniel X 321. 7.07 megabytes download, 22 slots on console. This will hold 17 chickens. nicely detailed, nice texturing, all sorts going on here. We can open and close the door, and the side door here, the chickens will go through here regardless whether the door is open or not, but we can have that door closed and this one open so the chickens can come and go as they please, or you can bar their entry if you wanted to. Now, one thing I'm not sure about at the moment, dialogue box is pretty much all the way around this. It was coming up here as well. There we go. So kind of round these two corners here. As far as feed goes, the trough is at the back there. Now I haven't had a single egg box appear yet. I did speed up time a bit and I thought one would have appeared. So as to where the actual egg boxes do appear, I don't know. I haven't had one come up. I sped up time for that specific reason. Now, as far as feed goes, I came at this with various different trailers, really struggled to get a trigger. In the end, I got a smaller trailer with a side tip, but I had to come right up against this wall here to get the trigger to come up. Just so you know. Like I say, the egg box thing is a little bit of a puzzle, but I would imagine if they are going to appear, they will appear somewhere inside or just outside. They're not going to be miles away, are they? This you will find under Placeables, under Animal Pens, 10,000 to buy, and like I say, 22 slots for the first one. So fairly high, but there's a lot of detail on that, I guess. That drops down to 2 for any subsequent ones. That's by Kazani 317 and Daniel X321. Moving on from there, we have got this. This is the Big Pig Shed. This is by SMMODing. 500 pigs this will hold, 3.59 megabytes download, and 21 slots on console. We've got our slurry point just here. We've got our manure point just here. We haven't got any in there at the moment because I've got no straw in there, because I'm saving that for the last mod we're going to look at. Our animal dialogue box is this larger one just here. Buying, selling, loading or unloading can be done from there. We don't go into this one. Feed trough is around the side here. I think these open. Yeah, so we can get into the main pen if we want to, but not into the building itself. And then around this side we've got our water trough, which is just there. And then our straw point is round there, which we're going to have a look at in a little while in conjunction with another one of the mods. It takes up quite a large footprint, but then it does hold 500, so I guess in real world it absolutely would. It would be massive. But there is a downside to this, which I have found. Now, it says on the ModHub website, I don't know why I hold so much store in that now, but it said the pigsty has received decorative objects. Animal pen has been prepared. Now in the pictures on there and the picture in here on the Mods Hub, it shows 2 trees in the pen. And I thought, oh, that's going to be brilliant because we don't often get stuff like that with them. I placed it. I didn't get 2 trees. Now it could be a conflict with the map. Don't know. Could just be that on console you don't get the trees. But if we go to Placeables and Animal Pens, if you look at the picture there, it shows 2 trees on there and it shows 2 trees on the pictures on the website. It's 300,000 to buy, and the slot count does drop down from 21 to 2 if you're going to place more than one of them. But yeah, there you go. Not that it's a major problem about there not being 2 trees in there, but I was kind of looking forward to that in a strange way. Don't know why. Which brings me on to providing Giants haven't decided to drop any more mods late or change anything, or we've got this. This is the Emily Sigma by SimulagriModding. This is a bale shredder for putting bedding into areas for animals that require bedding. It will take square bales and round bales. This is how it comes, kind of boxed up, packaged up, and it fits onto a front loader. But obviously, I've said this before, with all the various different attachments and adapters that are available as part of the CSZ pack, and there's a couple of others knocking about, you might be able to put this onto other vehicles as well with the correct adapter. If you open it out into that configuration, you can put your square bale on, and what we'll have a look at in a minute is the actual mechanism inside, and that will feed the square bale in towards the shredder, which will then blow it out of here. But it does also do round bales. Now putting square bales in, you'll see about the round bale in a minute, but square bale, I had to put that in using something else. So if you've got your telehandler and you've got a fork or something like that, maybe putting a square bale on there with a fork or something will be a bit easier, because I could not get this to scoop up a square bale. You may have better luck than I do, but I couldn't. We'll have a look at it first in store. It's under tools and animals. It's 22,000 to buy. It's 6.64 megabytes download. It's 5 slots on console for the first one, which then drops down to 1. It will take 1 bale at a time. It looks like that. There are no options when you get it. So, what we'll do, let's jump into this one first. And we'll hook up. I'm going to open up my help menu. So, we've got our usual telehandler operation, which is all very lovely. R1 and right stick side to side opens and closes that front section. So if we do that and that opens the whole front section. Now if we look into there, you've got the mechanism by which it will drag in square bales and keep round bales in place, I would imagine. So if I go L1, R1 and unload here, because that's what it will do, it'll unload and blow. Now how is there... Can someone explain that to me? Is that taken from that bale that I bought out? How is that happening? Maybe it's registering the straw bale still in there. But as you saw, the teeth on there move in a kind of stepped ladder motion. One moves forward, then the next one, then the next one, the next one, it drags it in. So what I was going to show you, I hope this is going to work now, 4 round bales. To put a round bale in, if we do that, put that up against the round bale, like so, there's an option there, like that should be okay, that says remove the bars. Now, there are bars at the side. If I do remove the bars, and then put the bars, when I press L1 and X, it brings that round and pushes the bale in. So it holds it there, and all I've got to do, tip that back, and my round bale's in there. How cool is that? Put the bars away, and then fold that up again, like so, and my bale's in. Now, one thing you will notice, there's a bit of clipping through the front, and when I was bringing these out there, the square one and the round one, through the sides as well, a little bit as it moves around. But that's the bale in there. And as you've seen, you can dump onto the floor. So yeah, what it's done is the bale that I've now got in here, it was kind of registering the bale was still in it. That's peculiar. So I can tip onto the floor if I want to. If I go L1 and R1, that's how I move my top nozzle for spraying my straw. I think you can do it with hay and grass. I'm sure it said it takes all those bales. Like so. So again, if I put that right down to the floor, and then do L1, R1, unload here, it will spread onto the floor, which is great. Now, as far as the square bale goes, I've got one there already, so we'll jump in. Now that's saying start overloading already because I'm in the point where it's going to. So if I do R1 and triangle, it turns it on. It is put into there. I can adjust my nozzle up so you can get a more of effect that it is actually blowing. It is filling up. Now it will take from that bale until that bale runs out. Then you need to put a new one in. But it kind of will feed that. I mean, I say it will feed that bale. It's not like I'm thinking the add-on straw harvest where the bale actually goes on the belt and kind of gets chomped away. The mechanism does work. The baler does work. You can put square in. You can put round in. And it shreds your bales and puts them in. I mean, that in essence is what it's designed to do. And that is it for today, I think. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.